What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
Go ahead and get into some NFL and New Orleans Saints talk. And, of course, here in hour number 2, this segment brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing. Go see them off of Lee Drive, right next to Mike Anderson's. Go have a great time. And like we always tell you, I mean, so many different groups can have fun. Date night, girls night, boys night, whatever it might be. Go have some fun. Go drink a couple of cold pops. Go have a great night there over at Skull. You can go to that website, right, gcaxe.com for more information. Kind of gives you an idea. If you want to have like a 2-hour event, right, you can reserve some situations over there and have a great time. Again, co-workers, family event, whatever it might be. Also just a general admission. Hey, right, Mario sometimes likes to go throw axes by himself. And if you want to go do that, well, you can just walk in, buy a ticket, and go throw some axes by yourself as well, although Mario doesn't usually do it in the same location. All right, let's get to our New Orleans Saints discussion. We're kidding, by the way. All right, how do we feel about this one? Because a lot of the things that we wanted to see from the New Orleans Saints, well, we kind of saw some of the improvements. Now, the first pass of the game for the Saints, an interception from Derek Carr. And I'm like, oh, dear God, what is going to happen here? And then it got 21-0. The Lions had a short field because of some turnovers, and it just looked like it was going to be an avalanche, and it was going to be 45-0 or 45-3, and it wasn't going to be competitive. And I credit the Saints for fighting back. They fought like hell to get back into this game. They lose 33-28 to the Detroit Lions. Look, David Carr came back and played much better after the interception. Now he gets injured, gets landed on. You end up getting a penalty there. Jameis has to come in. But there was times where I felt like there was improvement. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But there was improvement. Look at the tail of the tape. First downs, 23 for the Saints. Only 18 for the Lions, right? You ran more plays. You were more efficient on third down. You're 6 of 12, 50%. Let's ride. That's good. Detroit was 6 of 13. You look at some of the other, you look at the passing yards, right? Detroit, high-power passing attack, got a lot of weapons, and you had more passing yards. You had more total yards than they had. You ran the football pretty decent. Right? Certainly for the way that you've been running the football. When you look at the penalties, you both had 6 there, but one of the stories of the game is you did have the 2 turnovers. Because even in the red zone, y'all, in the red zone, the Saints, 4 for 4. They were so awful in the red zone, I would have taken 2 for 4. I would have celebrated 2 for 4. They were 4 for 4 in the red zone. And it's the reason they got back into this game. It's just, gosh, this one felt like, fellas, I don't know if y'all, had a chance to watch. I know Mario did, but the game flow and how this game went, it just felt like in the second half, certainly in that third quarter where the Saints dominate, they outscored the Lions 14-3, and you get the ball back and you're feeling so good. You even get the luck. And hey, I don't even remember who was on the game. We get it. Jameis experience. Say that one more time during the broadcast. My God. And I realized what that play was, where it gets tipped and it goes to Olave. It was a bad pass. 2 guys for the Lions had a chance. But when that kind of play goes your way, you think it's going to be your day. And the Saints just fall short. It drops them to 5-7 on the season. The Falcons get a victory. So now you're looking up at the Falcons within the division. Now, this was going to be the toughest one. We said that. Right, we said that this was the tough game. Everybody else, you were going to have a chance to go out there, be victorious because of your schedule. It lined up to make a hell of a run. But, my God, you wanted this one. My gosh, it was right there. You felt like having the comeback. The things that were going your way, we've seen games like this, right? They get out to a big lead, and they're not able to hold you off, and not only hold you off from making it close, but from, you winning the game. And this one will be a tough one. It will be a tough one because you felt like at the end of the game you did exactly what you had to do. And y'all know this. You have to spend so much energy to get back into a game like this. And when you don't end up with more points in your opposition, man, those last until like Wednesday and Thursday of the next week.
Yeah, especially at home. I mean, they get off to these terrible starts at home every single game. That's why I'm a little less encouraged by the fight. Like, you're supposed to fight. You make a lot of money. You make adjustments at halftime. That's to be expected. But in 4 home games this season, the Saints have been outscored 69-30 in the first half. Like, you're constantly playing catch up. And the one positive maybe for the Saints this year has been that they're plus in the turnover margin, right? But you're -2 yesterday and 2 just terrible turnovers. Like, I've never seen a guard pull right into the quarterback and basically force a fumble like James Hurst did yesterday. And then the Juwan Johnson interception, everybody's blaming Juwan, as they should. It was in his hands and it got picked off. But Michael Thomas tweeted about it. Nick Underhill tweeted about it. A.T. Perry was wide the hell open on a corner route on that play. Like, easy touchdown. And Derek Carr, he's had good moments. He hasn't been all bad, but he's been missing a lot of those. And that's why the crowd was booing the hell out of him yesterday. So, yeah, I guess it's nice that they came back. I thought we at least had a good broadcast. It's exciting, which it has not been every week. Yeah. But kind of to be expected, this loss, unfortunately.
It's one of those things where you're like, I was encouraged and discouraged because we talked about it in the break. You did everything that you wanted to see improvements. We're like, well, if they improve in the red zone, they're going to win these games. If they're able to run the ball, they're going to win these games. They did those things. But you mentioned it. You dig yourself into a 21-0 hole, and then the first offensive play of the game is an interception. That's bad right there. Like, you know. Yeah. And then the second turnover, I mean, like Mario mentioned, I've never really seen anything like that, but you give them short field multiple times when you're already losing the game. That was an issue there. Also, the Saints' ability to stop the run has gotten really bad. I mean, it's a legit problem now. It's been 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. And when you're losing the game, like you were with the Falcons, like you were with the Lions, you dig yourself in an early hole. When you were losing the game and you can't stop the run on defense, it's almost impossible to win these football games. And that's what we've seen the last 2 weeks. So while you have these improvements on offense, while you've seen these things and you're like, hey, that's something to build off of, there's a lot to fix on the defensive side of the ball now, because for a while now, the early half of this season, you're like, oh, the defense is carrying this team. The offense can come around and be average. You're going to win a lot of these games. The defense is taking a step back. I mean, whether a lot of people want to admit it or not, like, the pass defense has been okay at times, but that run defense is a big issue.
And for so long, it was the best run defense in the league. Yep. I mean, they just didn't allow a 100-yard rusher. It was something that just wasn't going to happen against the Saints. And you're right. I mean, Detroit certainly had success running the football. They outgained you on the ground. It wasn't really even close. And Detroit's a good rushing attack. They've spent money on the offensive line. They have a first-round running back. Montgomery's been a nice addition as well. But, yeah, the Saints giving up the yards on the ground has certainly been a story over the last couple of weeks. And so, gosh, you feel like they're getting to that point where it's like, okay, they're doing some of the things that we needed them to do to be, competitive in these games. Do they just not have it? Or are they just a team that's right there on that edge of being relevant, but they can't find a way to get over that hill and get over that bump and be that team that can get into the postseason and, make you believe that they not only can get in from a bad division, but they can be competitive in the postseason. And we'll break it down more. Of course, me. I've got the Pro Football Focus grades pulled up, and they tell a story that you probably already knew.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.